out of all the years that Silver Dollar City decided to add Fire in the Hole, it had to be the year when it was this meme. What's up guys, I'm the East Coaster fan, and as a coaster fan, I'm always eager to see what the new roller coasters are going to be for 2024. So in today's video, I'm going to take a look at pretty much all of them. I'm going to go through each roller coaster here and then give my initial reactions and feelings on the ride, and hopefully we'll see how it goes when the ride actually opens. Now these are all my opinions, so if you have different thoughts than mine, that's perfectly fine. Just leave them in the comments below and talk about these new additions with everyone else. For this video, I do have a few rules that I'm gonna keep. One, the ride has to be completely brand new, built specifically for 2024 in mind. This means that rides like All-American Triple Loop at Indiana Beach are not gonna be a part of this video, although I think that ride's gonna be sick. And for simplicity, I'm only going to look at roller coasters that are opening in the United States. I know there are amazing roller coasters opening internationally, like Hyperia at Thorpe Park, but this video would be forever if I looked at all those, honestly. So with that being said, let's take a look at the roller coasters opening in 2024. Bobcat is the new Gravity Group roller coaster that's opening at Great Escape, and honestly this looks amazing. I love these smaller scale Gravity Group coasters, and this one looks no different. I especially love the first half with its drop, good airtime hill at the beginning, and then this sort of twisted airtime hill that it has. The rest of the ride kind of looks like it might meander, but Gravity Group can easily surprise me. The only smaller scale wooden coaster that I've been on that I can really compare it to is Wooden Warrior at Quasi, and I really love that ride. So if Bobcat's anything like that, I'll be very happy. And it's also very important for the park and Six Flags as a whole, since they've never built a Gravity Group before. So if this ride is successful, who knows, we may see more Gravity Groups throughout the chain. Yes, I'd rather talk about this than a mock Hyper going to Thorpe Park. Cinder Roller Coaster at Storybook Land is an SBF Visa figure 8 spinning coaster. I've actually been on one of these before at Funland of Fredericksburg, and yeah, they're alright. I've never been to this park, it's in New Jersey, and it's much smaller, kind of near Maury's Piers, but who knows, maybe with this edition I'll be heading down there this upcoming season. This is one of many Vekoma coasters making its way to the United States next year, and this honestly might be my favorite of the ones coming. In fact, it's been more than 20 years since the last one was built, and that was Gravity Max, not even close to the United States. And the rest of the layout looks fantastic. I'm really excited to see how this rides, and hopefully Kodoland and this attraction will all come together and open in 2024.
Wish I was back in.
Now we all know about Daddy Pig's roller coaster, quite possibly the best kiddie coaster ever created. Well, did you know that they're building a second one in Texas? This is part of a new Peppa Pig theme park that's opening there, and it's gonna feature an exact clone of Daddy Pig, which, why not? It's a great looking kiddie coaster, I love the launch. Now kids will be able to ride Daddy Pig's roller coaster with cowboy hats on, which is what we all really need to do in life.
Fire in the hole!
Okay, enough of that. No more Fire in the Hole memes. Fire in the Hole is interesting because it's basically like if Silver Dollar City took Fire in the Hole, the one they currently have, and pushed it somewhere else. This new version of Fire in the Hole is going in the Fireman's Landing area of the park. I think that's what it's called. And it's going to be situated with all the fireman stuff, so it only makes sense. What's interesting though is this is being made by RMC, their first real like family roller coaster. And it's more of a dark ride than a roller coaster, so it's going to be a bit hard to judge as a roller coaster ride per se, but I trust Silver Dollar City is going to do great with the theming, and I'm really eager to see how this turns out, and hopefully it lives up to the original. God, I was certain there'd be one more fire
in the hole!
As part of Great Adventure's 50th anniversary, the park is getting a brand new Vekoma coaster right behind Cyborg called Flash Vertical Velocity. This coaster does fill two pretty good gaps for the park. It satisfies a boomerang coaster ever since Chiller disappeared, and it's only the second launch coaster in the park behind King Ka. I'm just praying that they start construction soon, because my last visit to Holiday in the Park, it did not look like they even got started on that thing. So hopefully it goes up quickly. The fact that it's a clone, I have my high hopes, and I'm hoping that it's a really fun roller coaster. Now, while this might not be the best roller coaster opening next year, I gotta say, it's one of my favorites. Good Gravy at Holiday World is a new family Vekoma boomerang coaster that's going within the Thanksgiving section. And God, I love the theme with this, with all the oversized props. You have the house as a station. I'm sure you'll have pictures of family members in there. And this just looks like pure fun. It fills a very good gap within Holiday World's lineup, with all these thrilling wooden roller coasters, the Holly Dog, and then this is gonna fit right in the middle. Now I'm curious with this year's Hollywood Nights though, which is gonna be the more popular ride? Voyage or Good Gravy? We're just gonna have to wait and see. Next, we have the two rides that are going to Mattel Adventure Park in Arizona. The first one is Bone Shaker, which is sort of the kiddie family coaster. It kind of reminds me a lot of Nickelodeon Slime Streak at American Dream, but it also has a layout that reminds me of the West Coaster at the Santa Monica Pier. Curious to see how this goes, but I love how it's elevated above everything else and goes on top of the roof. It looks like they're even constructing a tunnel over that section, so who knows, there might be some theming. And yeah, it looks like a pretty fun roller coaster. Now this is exciting, the Next Chance Hyper GTX. This is great because the last one, and only one really, was Lightning Run at Kentucky Kingdom. It's been 10 years since the last one of these, and I'm really excited because I've heard great things about this, and this one's gonna feature a launch and inversions? That's gonna be interesting to see, and it's definitely gonna be the highlight of this park when it opens. Talk about an overdue roller coaster. I'm really excited for Iron Menace at Dorney Park. I think it is a perfect addition, not only for the park, but also the competing area. It's really gonna show that, listen, you gotta pay attention to Dorney sometimes. I love the layout with its lack of a mid-course brake run and unique elements. The beyond 90-degree drop is going to be great. I am curious about the vest because I have ridden Valraven and I'm not a big fan of those, but hopefully they're better than that ride. And I'm also really looking forward to the theming on this attraction. If it's anything like the Ghost in the Machine, which was their new haunted house this year, I am super excited to ride this thing. Oh great, another random one. This roller coaster is a replacement for Rudy's Rapid Transit, which was a Zier Tivoli, and this looks interesting. It's technically a newer model from Vekoma, and it kind of reminds me of those Zero layouts, kind of like Super Grover's Boxcar Derby at SeaWorld Orlando. It gives me kind of that vibe, but what's interesting is the capacity of this roller coaster is being cut in half. If you've ridden these Tivolis like the one at Even Great Adventure, you know how obnoxiously long these trains are, and these trains are being cut in half basically. So we'll see how that goes for the park. I mean, it is a smaller amusement park in New Hampshire, so I'm sure it'll be fine, but I'm curious to see how this ride really ends up. Here's the other new roller coaster supposedly opening at Kodoland next year, and I'm sorry, I just don't get the hype for this one. Don't get me wrong, it looks like a unique layout, and I'm sure it'll be an exciting ride once I ride it, but like, I don't know. Like, for instance, what is this spike over here? This spike is just so weirdly shaped. And also, it might be the animation, but I feel like this ride's gonna valley a lot. I think the highlight's mainly gonna be that wave turn over the road, but that's about it. I think Circuit Breaker is a much better addition than this thing's gonna be. This is the replacement for Empire of the Penguin. Fun fact, during my visit to SeaWorld Orlando in 2016, I was planning on riding this, and it broke. Eventually, SeaWorld decided to just take it out and add another roller coaster because that's what they know how to do well. And not just any roller coaster, but another B&M. Yeah, another new model from B&M, but who knows, this could be a really cool ride and it does fill the lineup of a good family coaster within the park. Would I have liked a straddle coaster instead? Yeah, but I'm curious to see what B&M does here.
Hey there, this is Editing East Coaster Fan, and I realized while making this that I forgot to talk about Phoenix Rising at Busch Gardens Tampa. I don't know why it slipped my mind, because I think this is a really good addition, and especially one for a Sand Serpent. It'll be interesting to see a B&M family invert finally in the United States, since we don't really know what they feel like. We've been so accustomed to seeing the Vekoma models that seeing the B&M one might be really different. And if any of you are worried about comparing this to Montu or anything like that. I don't think that'll really matter that much. I think it's going to be really cool. I hope the theming's great, and I love this wave turn that's right above the entrance in this concept art. So I have high hopes for this. I think it's a great addition.
This was a roller coaster that really surprised a lot of people when it was announced, and it is another Vekoma family boomerang. I feel like this one's not really being talked about much, mainly because Good Gravy stole all its thunder. But it is a nice looking ride. I love the Peanuts theming that's all around it, and I like how it's positioned right next to the crappy Vekoma Hang and Bang, just so you can compare the Vekomas and see how far they've come. And hopefully all goes well with it. This is another Camp Snoopy update, but this roller coaster is slightly different from King's Islands. In fact, is that what I think it is? Oh, look at that! It's a clone of Daddy Pig's! Well, the fact that it isn't themed to Peppa Pig is definitely gonna hurt this ride's ability to be good. Most certainly. That's what matters in roller coaster theming. Okay, pause. Now, I know I said all the roller coasters that I was going to be featuring in this video had to be 100% new. But I'm gonna make an exception for this one. So what do I think of Top Thrill 2? This thing looks amazing. I absolutely love this ride layout. I think it's gonna be fantastic going up that vertical backward spike. Being that high up and seeing the back of the park is gonna be incredible. And also doing that whole stretch of the launch at the top speed, hopefully. I'm really excited. The one thing that's gonna be really eager is Zamperla doing it, since I only know Zamperla for their crappy roller coasters that can be found at Luna Park. But this roller coaster is really important for them, as I feel like the entire industry is really looking at this one ride very critically. If they mess up, this is really gonna hurt Zamperla, so they really gotta go full force, and we see that now. They were even testing this ride at the end of 2023. So I'm crossing my fingers, but I do think this is my most anticipated roller coaster opening next year. Yeah, I bet you forgot about this one. Yeah, the unnamed Ultra Surf coming to Six Flags Over Georgia. I'm not sure honestly how much I can say about this ride, but it looks good. I'm really eager to see how it rides. It takes up a plot of land that was previously abandoned, so good job, Six Flags. So looking back at everything, it seems like 2024 is really the year of family coasters and Vekoma coming into the US, and no other importance whatsoever.
Fire in the hole!